Hi guys, Guglielmo from Guglatech. We have been asked many times in wherever, on our sales post, on our forums, on Facebook, on Instagram, even personally, what is the difference between our air filtration technology and whatever else is on the market? And I thought I explained myself quite nicely. I thought I did make a point, but it seems that I wasn't good enough. So today we will analyze with this video whatever is around and why we do it differently, why we choose to run a totally different path to achieve the best filtration technology in the world, and obviously the most protective, because you know that we are obsessed. There is an obsession for protection in our company. This is our focus, okay? Let's call it this way. What do we have before us? Well, obviously the paper. Paper has been for many years and today still one of the best media for air filtration. It's quite robust. There is a flow. It can flow only one direction, not both directions, because imagine paper as a funnel. It's a bigger diameter and a small diameter. The airflow goes from the small diameter to the bigger diameter. So to achieve the best filtration for big particles. If you flip it around, you will achieve a funnel effect. So yes, more air, more flow, but also bigger particles. This is a problem we found on some application. We discussed about this. I know, for example, on the KTM 790, they flipped the filter upside down, which means that it's flowing the wrong direction. This is why it cannot prevent dust to enter your air box, but this is a different issue. Then we have what was invented many years ago with the cotton. We have here a 4-layer cotton sport filter, which means that there are 4 layers of woven cotton. I cannot do the same because I would rip it apart. It's not very stable. So we have 1 layer, 2 layer, 4 layer, all compressed in this net to obtain this effect, okay, which is basically, you can find in many filters. This is a 990, for example. You can see this technology applied to this filter. So the net is closed in this plastic, hard rubber frame. Then we have some latest invention. Wait a second. This is the grandpa of all enduro, cross, and let's call it rally filter, the foam. Here we have a very nice example. It's very thick. The whole structure is a foam, so it's just like a brick of foam. And then, as you well know, this can work only with the combination of this that you put in the air ducts. Without this, this will never reach the effect desired to stop the dust, but this we'll discuss later. Also, foam has a mechanical problem because this is, for example, a double foam system. This is big pores with low density, PPI, particle per inches, pores per inches. This is a 40 pore per inches, and this is a 60 pore per inches. You have this mixture when you try to achieve in a single compact system a better filtration for sport uses. Then you have the usual normal single pore system, and you can see it's quite stretchy. I can rip it apart. If I would do the same with this, I would rip apart. Then we have the net. This is not the same net, it's just a typical net, which is basically a non-woven system, but it's a net, like, mosquito net or any kind of net, a sieve is a net, a stainless steel net. And you can achieve and obtain a filter through a net. We have here one example, again 990. As for the filtration efficiency, well, we were studying it. We came up with the standard ISO norms, which means that you analyze whatever you want to filter, where you want to filter, and what you want to filter with. So you define a Gaussian distribution, the Pandora shape one, where you have the tails and the main curve, which is the biggest distribution of the dust. So you decide where to work. Basically, you decide for street application that your core will be between 20 and 30 microns, and then the tails you will have below 2 microns and above 150 or 200 or 400 microns, depending what you're filtering and what kind of application your filter will face. But through this Gaussian distribution applied to lab tests, where you have a multipass system, which is a machine flowing continuously some liquid with a defined quantity of dust added continuously, so it's flowing through the matrix time and time over, more pass, multipass, until you reach a defined distribution or a defined saturation. Then you wave it and see how much it stopped. it was not for us, because we understood that this is not real life. An ISO multipass system will never replicate what's going to be for you on your track, behind maybe your best pole, riding in the desert, and you are just eating up his dust. Next time, be faster, but as for now, you're eating his dust. This is real life. This is not a lab test. And we decided to replicate it with our Inferno machine. As you can see in the picture, we created a machine to simulate a desert storm. It's sand, glass powder, cement powder, rust powder, steel powder, cement dust, thicker and smaller. Everything below our matrix, our Gaussian distribution was centered on 20 microns, going down to 2 microns, and then up top to 150 microns. We decided to stop it at 150. It's the reality. Nobody will ever throw at you a gravel. Whatever else led past gravel, namely cotton, foam, net, whatever is around 100 microns, shouldn't be there. It's impossible for an engine to digest such huge particles, so it shouldn't be part of the design. You have to stop it much better. Paper works amazingly well between 20 and 30 microns. Nothing else will pass. Whatever is below has a chance to pass. But this is because what's too small cannot be mechanically stopped unless you stop the flow. What does cotton, foam, filter do? They add oil. So whatever you have here, for example, sorry for the glass, but it's really soaked. Whatever you have here is just structure, while what's really filtering the dust, it's the oil. It's trapping particles, hopefully small and then, big and then smaller until they clog partially, and through this they start stopping particles to protect the engine. And this is the same. It's just the same design. Particle will be stopped by the viscosity and the glue effect of the oil. No oil, no filter. So what we decided to do? Well, we checked what was really working, paper, and what was really working in other system, oil. And, sorry, it's quite dirty, but that will do. We design our own matrix. This is our matrix. This is what you find in our filters. Same design, double steel mesh, with this thin matrix blocked inside. This, you can't break it. It's much stronger than paper, much stronger than anything else around. This can be washed in simple soap and lukewarm water. Nothing else can. Also because according to whatever we define as an oil, we try to respect the ecosystem, but this is a different issue. So once we apply this matrix, our matrix, and we add oil, we obtain the best of two worlds. Strong paper, best filtration above 20-30 microns. Mechanically, nothing can go through. The pores are too small. You can see the picture. It's a concrete wall. But since our pores are not random like in paper, we define a better pattern, there is a better flow. Not just air, not just a huge amount of air like in other systems, but air that will have a small restriction and then be free to flow in the airbox, obtaining a perfect lamination. You have, like you should have, the perfect air stratification, lamination, so it's a wall of air, calm, with pressure going toward the cylinder. This is the best flow of air you will ever obtain. And through our system, it's the fastest. We don't just give huge amount of air like other systems. We define the specific velocity for the air to flow through the airbox, through the velocity stacks inside the chamber. This is how you define a filter and the airflow. Our system, once you oil this matrix, nothing can go through. And you can easily wash it because it's a simple soap and water system. That's it. Why we couldn't choose anything else? Because it's not up to the task. It will never protect your engine as good as the technology we design and we use. This system, this thick brick, plus this in the duct, oiled and perfectly maintained, will never match this filter with a couple of drops of oils. You can see by yourself on the picture. This becomes really the best filter in the world, whatever the application. Just the correct preparation, and this is the ultimate filter. Anything else was good for the time. Maybe you define that, yes, if I'm running an enduro bike, I want to service the filter every day. It's not necessary. Whatever you trap with the foam, for sure, whatever stays here will clog the filter and there will be no air. And once the oil is dry, there will be no filtration. This is why you were told in the past, and you still are told, that you have to wash filters every time. Not with ours, because the dust will accumulate in the filter, but the whole surface will never be clogged entirely. This filter will run even if full of dust, without any restriction. This is the way we define a filter. This is the way we define and protect your engine. We started with fuel filtration. We have the best fuel filters in the world because we are obsessed to protect your filter, and because for us, protection is the basis for every single project. Why did we start doing air filters? We were asked by a company creating enduro bikes, rally bikes, to create an air filter, because whatever else was on the market was not up to the task. Paper was very good, but in the desert, when you go below 10 microns, this will not work. Plus, it will clog suddenly and very fast, because it's exactly the work it's supposed to do, clog. Paper has very small and little pores, but with a very low numbers of pores, while we have the same amount, basically the same pore size, but with the higher distribution, we have a better flow. This is why we never clog as fast as paper. And this is why it's also very easy to clean the filter, because the pores will release the dust and the contamination easily, because it will not be trapped. You cannot wash paper, you can wash ours. When you blow paper, you destroy the paper because you're forcing the paper, which is basically wood, out and open it up. The same you do with cotton filter. You cannot blow dry a cotton filter, you will destroy it. It's specifically prohibited. This, yes, you can blow it, but 100 microns? The top they can reach is 40 microns. That's it. You can't protect your engine like this, not even on the racetrack. And foam, why should you blow foam? It's basically the oil. If you blow it dry, you're taking also the oil away with you. So we had to design and we had to come up with a different solution. And this is why we designed this matrix. This is the most effective air filter in the world. Whatever we design, we always create the perfect solution, both for your enduro system, which is the Ultra 4, or we have been asked also to design sport filters, the Super 4. This allows, through the different design of this kind of matrix, a better flow steel, faster, with yes, more air, because it's a different design. Will this be as effective in sand protection? Yes. Will it be as effective in dust, microdust, and desert protection? No. We decided to have two different filters: sport application, enduro, and rally races, because we want to protect your engine. In sport application on a racetrack, you will never see the dust you can see in the desert or running behind somebody on a single track or on the street. If you just go street, this is the best filter for you, because it will allow the best power development of your engine on the street, and this will protect it forever. This is the way we design products. We always have the best, let's call it this way, we stop and think before producing anything. We analyze, we create, we recreate, we try to think the unthinkable, we try to anticipate whatever may happen to your bikes in whatever combination. And this then, we design the products to face this problem. We use a lot of paranoia because we know that something can happen. Maybe you can just go in a quail. Once you run there, the ultra-fine dust will simply laminate your filter and you will stay there clogged, because this foam will be clogged, fine and laminated. This will simply stop from working. This will let basically everything pass. And this, if you run this filter, it shouldn't be there. So as a net filter, avoid dust, avoid sand, avoid anything. Just, anyway, anything. Okay. So I hope that with this video, I was able to explain the huge difference that there is between a paper filter, a cotton filter, a foam filter, a net filter, and our matrix, because what we tried to design, what we created, is a totally different new concept, a totally new way to filter air and to protect your engine, because we are really achieving the best filtration in the world through design and through engineering. Thank you so much. This is Guglatech. Please, if you like the video, thumbs up, follow us, subscribe to our channel, and check always if we have new products, new ideas, new tricks to help you out in your adventure with your bike. Thank you so much.